Hello internets, this is Pojo. I'm going to be casting a Protoss vs Terran game for you today. This is one of my first attempts at casting, so hopefully you don't give me too hard a time about it, but yeah, in any case, as you can see, I'm a Division Rank 1 Platinum League player. Obviously worked very hard to get that logo right there, so we're going to be playing a game, or replaying a game rather, against Pishwir, who is a Protoss player, and this is just going to be basically my test of whether or not I can cast anything, so with any luck you'll enjoy it, and if not, you won't. Ah! Okay, so loading up now. I am a random player on Battle.net. Terran is probably my second strongest race, Protoss being my first strongest, but I think that's just because Protoss are a little simpler to play. So this was a pretty good matchup. I played it on my lunch break, so it ran a little long for when I normally play. I wasn't able to end it fast enough, but with any luck you'll enjoy it. So here we go. Alright. So we start with Protoss player Pishwir up here, and I'm in 1024 by 768, and this looks so small, but that's alright. Okay, so Pishwir here, building his, he's sending out a very, very early probe scout. Me, I'm down here, I'm the blue Terran, and I am probably going to be starting things off, I think, fairly standard build. We'll see what happens. I certainly don't have any plans to do anything funny with SCVs at the moment, so let's look at Pishwir, see what he's doing first. And production tab, why not? We're building probes and SCVs, because those are amazing, and everyone needs them. They're the perfect army unit is what's going on. Protoss versus Terran on Lost Temple, as you can see, we have the opposite ends of the map here, so we're at a pretty safe distance from each other. Normally, well, not normally, but quite often when we're close together on a Protoss versus Terran, I tend to go for a 1-Rax Rod build, which is essentially getting out the earliest Marauder possible and using those concussive shells to slow down the Zealots and basically just make things very, very bad for the Protoss player. And if you get enough Marauders out, then the Stalkers are of course no problem, so, but in addition I find that it transitions pretty well. Okay, I have too much money here it looks like, but I'm going to solve that problem almost immediately. Protoss is going to start harassing my barracks, and sometimes I'm capable of dealing with this pretty easily. It's mostly a matter of good micro and decent SCV control, and this time I didn't do it right. So now I'm going to start rebuilding my barracks, and of course the Protoss is going to come back out and just continue to harass me because, hey, he won the first round, so in any event, at this point, yeah. Finito. So he has no more scouting information, so that's good for me, but I did lose that SCV and I did slow down my barracks, so I'm obviously not going to be going for that early Rax Rod, and I don't know where he is at the moment, so at this point I'm coming into his base. I'm going to see that he's building a forge first, which usually in the Platinum Gold Leagues is just to me an immediate sign that my opponent is going Void Rays. If they try to build like a cannon or something here, then it's a Forge Fast Expand build, which is a pretty clever build in general, but obviously with the way he's got his pylons set up here, he's trying to block off his actual base so he can tech to something really nasty. And to that extent, I am going to be going for Marauders. They're fairly strong against the cannons, and I already have the refinery up, of course, so my 1-Rax Rod build will be a little slow, but I'll still have some Marauders coming out, and I should be building them any second now. Hopefully I'll be getting the concussive shells too, but I have to wait for the gas on that. Okay, so my opponent is getting his first gateway. He's building it right up here on the side of the map to complete the wall off, which is a fairly good idea, but he's there's also a slight problem with this wall off, which we'll explore sort of later in the game. The main thing being that that cannon right there is very exposed, which we can see right now, and as a result it's pretty weak against basically anything, because anything can just charge up that ramp and take it in the face. In addition, it's not in a good spot to shoot down on these things, which, you know, this area of the map right here is of course very good for anyone who wants to basically hold off people on defense, because they have to come all the way around, and then the cannon still gets a good shot off at them on the ramp. Alright, so I've got 2 Marauders, which is going to be enough for me to start pushing out. I figure if he's got any Zealots right now, I'm going to easily be able to deal with them. At this point, I'm going to send my SCV in again to scout. I did not see the cannon the first time around. I'm pretty sure I don't... Yeah, I sort of saw it morphing in, but yeah, so at that point, my SCV is going to back off, and something interesting is going to happen here in just a second, maybe? Maybe not. He's just going to stand there for a while. Okay, so we have more Marauders coming out. I'm getting a fast factory because I want to get to Starport Tech as soon as possible. The other option, of course, here is to build barracks and continue to pump Marines, and I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of that as well. Marines are, of course, very good against Void Rays. And here's my second barracks right there. And that's going up specifically because, well, it's not any sort of cheat strategy. I'm just going to be using it for vision, which is, in my opinion, a very clever plan, but at the same time, I will have 4 Marauders up here, and 4 Marauders can take those 2 cannons, as we will hopefully discover. And there's the 5th Marauder, so he should be in good shape. Well, 4 Marauders may not be able to take those 2 cannons, but I will have the 5th Marauder coming out, and I'll be building another one, but I'm supply blocked because I'm still a platinum level player. Ha ha ha! Anyways, my micro's decent anyways. My APM right now is 52, which is not too bad for the early game. Pro players obviously have much higher, but as you can see, I'm using my barracks' vision so that I can specifically snipe off these barracks, which to me, of course, is a very clever plan. At the same time, however, yeah, I accidentally run a 100% of the line of fire, so I'll leave them a little bit there. And I take down his gateway, which is very good for me because it's going to slow him down quite a bit in terms of actual troops once he comes out. However, at this point I can see that the Void Rays are more cannon, and I know that I don't have enough time to stop looking for more things, so I'm just going to take down these cannons and try and get the pipeline. But there comes the first Void Ray. Void Rays are obviously very good against Marauders. Getting the barracks out of the way, and now there are 2 Void Rays on the way. I'm a little late on my engineering bay, I'm a little late on my Marines. If the Void Rays came in right now, I would be in some serious trouble. So, at the same time, I'm getting up my starport. I'm probably going to put a reactor on that and go straight for Vikings, because it seems to me like this is a pretty hardcore Void Ray build. So, yeah, in that particular case, that's what we're going to be seeing.